Okay, so about 350 calories on a smoothie, up to 1,200 calories, depending on how you get that done. Only because the other day, the peanut butter blueberry one that's really delicious, that I really like a lot, it had 11, like 1050, and then you could add like chia seeds, right? So you can really kind of weigh it down if you need to. And I say that for the sake of like men who need to, kind of have something heavy until they can get accustomed to, like, your tummy is going to shrink anyway. Like whether you're just straight juice or if you're juice and smoothie, when you taper that way, your tummy's going to shrink anyway. So if you taper down that way, also if you're getting discouraged in your smoothie journey or in your juice fast, and maybe like it's feeling like a little overwhelming, or you're just too hungry, like it's long term, and you want to feel that satiated feeling, instead of breaking your juice fast, I would prefer, me personally, if I were your coach, I would prefer that you get a smoothie and try to taper. Just get a smoothie. Like don't break your fast. Don't eat anything. Just get a smoothie, because that's gonna give you that satiation, that feeling that you're looking for. And so drink smoothies every few days until you don't have to, or drink smoothies because you feel like you need to. Only because I just feel like that's the better way. Like, instead of breaking your fast and getting some watermelon, which is totally okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you're really trying to stay the course, just make a smoothie. Just make one at home or go get one. Cars. Have somebody make you one at your house. I don't know what your circumstances is or what your situation is, but just go get a smoothie. And I think that's gonna extend the life and give you like a little bit more go as far as staying the course on your fast. Because if you eat something or you get a smoothie, they're almost exactly the same, except there's no chewing. And if you can, like, if you have somebody make it for you, just tell them to, like, especially if you don't want to have the sensation of chewing, because one of my smoothies, it didn't blend so smooth. I switched over to another smoothie place that blended it really smooth, because the blueberries at Nectar, it wasn't double blended. It wasn't blended twice. So it was very thick, which I love a thick smoothie. Don't get me wrong. And I want to also say that I went to another, like a different location for a smoothie from Nectar, and it was blended perfectly smooth. And then I went to Smoothie King and I swapped out a bunch of stuff to make sure it was vegan, and that one was blended perfectly smooth with no change of location or anything. And that might even do the trick if you actually need the sensation of chewing, because it's only like little tiny bits, but because it wasn't blended so smooth. So maybe that will be helpful. I don't know, but that's what I recommend if you're like in a rut and you're thinking about breaking your fast, or you need something a little bit heavier. Like, you would prefer, something that's a little bit weightier than like juice. Because I feel like I was just getting like the little 300 calorie smoothies. It was like a lemon ginger. It's kind of like a lemon ginger blast but not with all the ingredients. So it's kind of like that. And that one's only like 300 calories, 350 at best. So it's the equivalent of, like, if you got a really hearty juice and it has puree, you can get up to like 180 calories, somewhere in there. Some of them, depending on the brand, can get you up to 210. That's rare. It's not often. 180 is not normal. 210 is not normal. So you'll be looking, I think Evolution has the one that has about 210 calories. And then the ones that I get at like Casey's is like 180 calories. And I feel like that's mostly because it has a little bit of a puree in there. So yeah, you can get up to 180, but those are rare. So if you're only at like 110, 115, you're drinking juice all day and doing all the things, and you need something to just kind of lean on you a little. That's what I call it, lean on you, because it's a little bit heavier. So it'll have you're like, oh, okay. Then go ahead and get a smoothie. I feel like that's giving my fast legs. Not that I always needed it. It's just periodically, I just want a little, like some protein. So I'm at the stage in my life, you guys know I'm in the middle of my 40s. I'll be 46 this year. And my hair is already thinning just because of being perimenopausal. And then being vegan, you know, I did a long-term fast last year. Long-term, air quotes, 43 days is the longest I made it last year. And just kind of not hitting the marks all the time as far as nutrition is concerned. So I feel like my fast does need legs sometimes. Just get a smoothie every now and again and it's fine. It doesn't bother me. Now, could I do a completely clean fast with no smoothies? Absolutely. At this point, like even today, I didn't have a smoothie. I feel hungry, but I'm gonna backtrack to April. I went to go see my best friend in Colorado, and we went hiking, and I did all juice there. I did juice, coconut water, and aloe water. So there was no smoothies. We didn't have any smoothies. And I was hiking on 300-400 calories. I was at a deficit the whole time. So I'm not under the impression that I need to have smoothies to get through my fast. Like, they weren't heavy hikes. I would say no particular hike was over 5 miles. So it was light hiking, but still, I was burning a lot of calories on a deficit on 300-400 calories. Like that morning I would have juice, and then when we got to site I would have a juice, and then we would hike all day, and then I wouldn't have more juice until later that day. So it wasn't like I had a smoothie before I went hiking. I was literally on 300 calories for the vast majority of the morning, and we would hike all day, and then I wouldn't have anything else to drink until we got back to the car or until we got back to the house. And there was one time where I had one juice in the morning. We hiked and hiked and hiked. Again, no more than about 5-6 miles. And then I probably had like another juice in the car, in a cooler, a cold pressed juice in the cooler. So not a lot of calories. And I hiked it. I was fine. I was fine. I didn't feel weak. My sugar didn't bottom out. I want to caveat that by saying the vast majority of that juice cleanse, of that portion of my juice cleanse, because I started in March, and then in April I flew to Colorado to go hang out with my best friend. So I was right at a little over a month into my juice feast, not fast, my juice feast, and that was primarily aloe water, coconut water, all organic, blah, 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 tongue-tied, all organic, and green juice. There was a company in Colorado. I'm not gonna mention the name because it wasn't what I wanted, and the juices weren't that good. If I'm being honest, they were heavily diluted. Now that I make green juice at home, I know how that works. I know every business dilutes, but I feel like these were a little bit more heavier diluted than normal. and they weren't that good. If they were amazing, like Gigi's here at home, in KC, she's raw vegan restaurant here in Kansas City. Her juices are amazing. Amazing. If you are raw vegan and you are in the middle of a cleanse or a juice feast and you need juice, go to Gigi's, and she serves them in glass. I think she gives you money back if you bring your jars back. They're not mason jars, but they are jars. So if you bring them back, I think she gives you like $1 or $1.50 off your next juices. And her juices are amazing. Also here at home, Ruby Jeans. Not in glass, they're in plastic, but the juices are amazing. So if they were yummy like that, then I would shout them out, but I don't want to shout them out like that. Another place that you can get juice that's not vegan, there's a breakfast place here called Homegrown. I feel like it's a chain. We have like 3 or 4 here in the city, and I don't feel like they started here. But they have cold pressed, like if you're having breakfast with friends and they want to have a decent breakfast, they have a decent breakfast there. I wouldn't say like it's over the top delicious. My girls are super weird and bougie. They didn't give it like a 10, right? Because I was fasting then when I went with them. So they didn't give it a 10. I don't remember what they did give it. Keep that in mind. If I had to guess, with my girls, they probably, like we do the scale of 1 to 10, so I think they probably gave it a 7. So it's still pretty high. And they had a juice there. It's called Sunrise or something like that. It was amazing. So I'm letting you know, like, obviously I've been vegan for, it'll be 3 years next month. 3 years in June. So I've been doing, I juice fast 5 days, even when I'm not on a long-term juice fast. 5 days in 1 month, usually at the beginning of the month, but sometimes I let the time get away and I start like later, like the 4th or the 5th or something crazy, or middle of the month. Sometimes I've done that too. But I juice fast 5 days regardless. Every month I juice fast 5 days. So I've drank some juices, a few. So I wouldn't recommend you get juices from this place. I digress. The point is, the whole time I was in Colorado, I was only on green juice, aloe water, and coconut water, and I was fine with no problems. And I was there in Colorado for 5 days. So I drank plenty. I drank juice, I drank water, and aloe and coconut. That's it. So I don't particularly think that I need it with legs, but if that's something that you struggle with, if you're struggling in your fast, or you might want to just hit some protein every now and again, just make a smoothie. You'll be fine. It'll give you some weight. It'll give you more calories to burn, especially if you're real bulky, meaning like bodybuilder or a grown man or something like that. And you need something to kind of, fill you up, because I started doing this peanut butter one later in my fast, and it felt like I ate a steak. That's how heavy it was for me. Now, mind you, right now, I'm 5'3", I'm about 128 pounds, so I'm smaller. But if you're a bigger guy, that's gonna lean on you. Because I was full. I felt like I was in slow digestion still, and I was still, like hours later, I could still feel it. Whereas with my normal veggie lemon ginger or whatever it's called, that's gone. It's 300 calories. It's gone in a few hours. And I'm ready for more juice. With the peanut butter blueberry that I absolutely love, I'm actually starting to salivate just thinking about it. That one could hold me all day. Only because even without it, with just juice, I'm probably, if I had to guess, at the tail end of this fast, I've probably been on maybe 500-600 calories a day, 700 at best. So I've been on deficit the whole time, vast majority of the time, and I've been fine. So, what else? That's about it. That's the update for now. I'm trying to think. I don't know. Yeah, that's about it. I'm signing off now. Have a great day, guys. Thanks for watching my video and all the things.